Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Thor, issue number 16. This is, I believe, the final issue of Jason Aaron's Thor, in which case, this is a wrap-up issue. So, nothing new in here. Everything is just a wrap-up. Let's talk about who made this comic book, and then we'll talk about who actually, what's actually going on inside this comic book with this awesome wraparound cover. Yeah, and this is the standard cover. So it's really awesome they gave this to us. Okay, guys, real quick. We got Once Upon a Time in Asgard. Writer Jason Aaron, artist Mike Del Mundo. Cover artist Mike Del Mundo and Marco D'Alfonso. VC's Joe Sabino on letters and production. The logo is Jay Bowen. Cover artist Mike Del Mundo. Variant cover artist by Will Sliney and Maury Hollowell. Another one by Mike McCone and Edgar Delgado. Thor was created by Stan Lee, his brother Larry Lieber, and Jack Kirby. All of this takes place before Jane Foster Valkyrie, issue number 1, by the way, even though issue 2 just came out, also. Okay, so like I said, there's nothing new in this. All this is a wrap-up of all, well, not even all, just a couple of the little loose threads that were going around, like just the little ones. Thor's getting ready for, well, everybody else is getting ready around Thor getting ready for his coronation as the King of Asgard. Yeah, which by the way, Thor, King of Asgard will be the just 4 issues, and it'll be Jason Aaron's final run on Thor. That'll be it. We're done. Yeah, nothing new really happens in this, so to speak. It's, what's his face? Young Thor checking out the hammer again, which is, like, honestly, it's very heartwarming to see stuff like that. King Thor, he's already King Thor. He's all like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm the king. Got anything to drink in here? Whatever. Everybody's just really being them. It's just a tie-up of loose ends. Do not get this. If you haven't been reading this volume of Thor, this is the furthest from a jumping on point you could ever come across. In fact, I would consider going on with the next issue of Thor, which should be issue 17, unless they're going to reboot to issue number 1. I would like to reboot to issue number 1 if I were going to be picking up, especially after writing this freaking run. I mean, come on. But this was, especially if you've been reading it and you really liked this 7-year or so run, you'll be good. Grab this comic book. It's going to tie up a couple little things. The whole book is really just going to bring a smile to your face. I got to meet Mike Del Mundo at Fan Expo Canada, and totally awesome dude. Very cool guy. I know there's a lot of people who aren't a huge fan of his art, especially if this is the only art of his that you know. Take it back, bruh. Take it back. Especially if you go there and you meet this guy in person. One, besides him being an unbelievably cool person, he also has a display of a bunch of his art, and it's gorgeous. He's like, I'm not going to call this guy a chameleon. My top favorite picks for artists have always been people who not only have their own very indistinguishable style or multiple styles, which that's what Mike Del Mundo has. He has multiple styles. To me, the only way he could be better is if he had the ability to imitate other people's art too, which I have not actually seen that from him yet, but who's to say? But like I said, he's got a very distinct art style that you could tell right away, but he does have the ability to change his art. And I'm not entirely sure why he chose this particular art style for this particular comic book, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a bunch of people who don't like it. That's cool, and that's fair. That's 100% fair. But for me, I liked it because it gave the kind of abstract that this kind of a book needed. Just seeing Thor in various forms of emotion, and a bunch of other, characters too in various forms of emotion, Cull specifically, but definitely Thor. I think that this book was really able to pull that off more than, I don't know about any other art style, but than a lot of the other art styles out there. It was a real blend of what he could do and what the characters were feeling as far as a range. And that was really important to this run specifically. I think it would have been cool if he could have done this the whole run, but whatever. Whatever. Anyway, enjoyed this book. Definitely consider picking this. Well, don't consider. Definitely get this if you've been reading the whole run, or at least a good portion of the run. You'll understand what I'm saying. God Butcher, all that stuff. There's a lot of loose ends tied up here. But the But again, this is not in any way, shape, or form a jumping on point. Do not pick up this book. Do not even waste your money if this is your first time reading Thor in a long time. Nope. Wait till the next issue. All right, guys, that's it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.